Hello YouTube, this is Galway Yu-Gi-Oh here with a brand new deck profile. This time I'm bringing you Cyber Herald, which is a deck I just played and made up yesterday at Locals, and I did pretty well with it. I got second place overall. And yeah, it was really fun to play, so let's get into the deck profile. We've got three of our Herald, which is your defend the castle. This guy negates pretty much anything except inherent summons, normal summons, that kind of thing. He negates spell effects, trap effects, and monster effects by discarding a fairy from your hand, which is really good because usually you'll have a lot of hand advantage and fairies to discard. You just negate all of their powerful plays, if they discard for trade and you negate that, stop them from gaining advantage, and eventually you'll just overcome them with, you having a lot more cards than them. Also, this kind of deck thrives on a simplified game state where you can negate all of the power plays and let all of the weaker plays through while still keeping this 2800 boss monster on the field. 3 Benton. Benton allows you to summon Herald and still gain advantage. When Herald is tributed for the summon of a Herald, you get to search your deck for Light Fairy. Also, the ritual spell that summons the Herald itself is can be banished from the graveyard to add the ritual material back to your hand. So if you ritual summon the Herald with Benton and its ritual spell, you get to search your deck for Light Fairy and add back the Benton, which is fantastic. It allows you to generate a lot of advantage while putting this boss monster on board. We run 1 Edison. It's the only Cyber Angel ritual monster that I run other than Benton, so I only run these 7 ritual monsters overall. It comes in handy sometimes. It allows you to actually play the Blue Eyes matchup, because usually in the Blue Eyes matchup they can just summon an alternative from hand and just speed over your Herald, and that's you can't do anything about it because it's an inherent special summon. It doesn't start a chain. You cannot negate it with Herald. And 3k beats your 2/8 defense with Herald. But this guy, when you tribute it, boosts Herald's defense to 3/8, forcing them to use the effect to out it, and then you negate the effect and destroy their card, and then you win from there. Also, you can summon it and search a ritual spell, which is pretty clutch sometimes. Also, he's the only Cyber Angel or ritual monster you can summon out for your Machine Angel ritual, which is sometimes important. 3 Manju. It searches any ritual spell or ritual monster, which is fantastic. Really gets you your missing combo piece for your plays. 3 Scepter and 3 Sovereign. This generates so much advantage if you have both of these in hand. Even if you just have this in hand, you can just search the other piece and maybe make a play another turn. But you can actually search one of these with Benton. So if you say have a chair in your hand, Sovereign, you can search your Scepter off of your Herald play. So you summon Herald, you search with Benton, you search this card, and then you add back the Benton, and then you can go off. So it's very important to play this engine. Also, they're all Light Fairies, which is really important for a lot of the cards in this deck. 2 Maxi, because I wanted cards that allowed me to not lose if I lost the dice roll. This deck is obviously made for going first. It doesn't have a lot of tools that help it break boards, but it does have a few tools that stop your opponent from setting up boards, and that is why you want to go first all the time. But when you do go second, it's handy to have a card like Maxi that can stop them from making an unbreakable board. And even if they do try and make an unbreakable board, the lack of once per turn, hard once per turn clauses in this deck means you can just spam your resources into their field and still probably break it because you'll have more cards than they will. 2 Honest, because I needed more Light Fairies in my opinion. A lot of people don't run this card, but I feel hand traps are incredibly powerful, and also gives me an easy side out. If they see this game 1, it'll surprise them, they won't be expecting it, and you'll generate advantage. They'll attack into your Herald or whatever, and you'll just catch them off guard. And then if they see it, they'll be playing around it. You just slide it out. Game 2. It's also a Light Fairy, as I said, so it's searchable, and also it's a hand trap. So there's a lot of good things about this card. Also level 4. 3 Oracle of the Herald. This summons your Herald, and then the ritual materials get added back to your hand when it's summoned. Important to play 3 of this. It's a combo piece. 3 Pre-Prep. This searches a Herald plus the Herald ritual spell and nothing else, because of the clause it has to have the name in the text. So you run 3 of this because it's a +1. It's a really good card. You want to see it in your opening hand. Sometimes mid-to-late game it can be dead, especially with Desires, but it's still necessary to play 3. You just want to see it first hand. Machine Angel Ritual, it protects things in the grave. That's the only reason I run this in Editon. I wanted a use for this card other than discarding it with Ritual Sanctuary, because that would be kind of really bad in your hand then, if you just had to wait for Ritual Sanctuary to get rid of this card. So I put it in Editon so I could actually make a play using it, but it's okay at 1. I was running originally, in my original build I was running 3 of this and 2 Editon, and of course 3 Benton, which I could technically summon even though it would be unwise to, and it wasn't very good. It was always the card I wished was something else in my hand. One, Preparation of the Rites, it's limited, it's at 1, so that's why I only run the 1. But it's actually weaker than pre-prep, because most of the time you're just going to be searching. You don't usually add something back from your grave, because you want this card in your grave to protect your Herald. And the other one is always banished the other ritual spell. So usually it's just a searcher for Benton, Herald, or Edison. And while that's extremely good and you want that at 3 because you want more combo pieces, it's also not a huge loss. Does it make the deck unplayable? 3 Ritual Sanctuary. Discard a spell card to search any ritual, light fairy ritual card, and then also you can search a ritual spell as well if you want. And you can then shuffle the spells in your graveyard into the deck and then special summon a monster from your graveyard with a level equal. So you can shuffle 4 spells back in and summon a Star Seraph and trigger its effects in the graveyard. That's really powerful. And 3 Terraforming to reach that really important combo piece, because this gets all your combo pieces. So if you brick, you can usually make your way out of the brick with this card. So you want this. And also if you open multiples, if you open like 2 Terraforming, you can use 1 Terraforming to get the Ritual Sanctuary, and with the Ritual Sanctuary pitch this to get a combo piece. So it's not as bad as other decks where you run 3 and 3 and you can open like multiples. When I was playing Pepe, it would happen where I'd open multiple Skyres, either through Terraforming or just Skyres itself, and it was really bad. 2 Desires, just 2 Desires, because you can never resolve a second in this deck. You just lose all your search pieces and it's terrible. You also search and dig a lot in this deck, so you'll usually see it anyways. I played 2 yesterday, and often it was actually kind of average. In a lot of decks I do play, it's fantastic, and I'd recommend playing the 2 that you should be playing in all decks, 2 or 3. But in this deck it just seemed kind of subpar. Every Desires I was banishing important search pieces that I would have been getting through the game, that I would have been seeing later in the game and would have had to neg because of it. Especially, just to talk a bit more about that, especially with this card right here. Whereas this is a +1, this +1, this is a better +1, even though this gets you 2 cards and this gets you only 2 cards. So you can only get Oracle of the Herald and the Herald itself with this, and you can get any 2 cards with this because whatever 2 cards are 11th and 12th in your deck when you activate it. Even though that's the case, you want to resolve this mid to late game, and you can't if you Desires. Like nearly all the time if you Desires, you will not be able to resolve a second copy of this card if you draw. And this deck does not OTK. You usually take 2, 3, 4 turns, set up boards, searches, and generate a lot of advantage, and then go in. And because of that, I feel like Desire is kind of a bit weak. But I still think you should play with 2 just because of how powerful it is. 1 Upstart Goblin, of course, and then 2 Instant Fusion, because Northern is a good card and you have plenty of extra space, and it helps you get out of those boards where say you've a Star Seraph piece on your field and you want to put something else on the board. You want to make an Abyss Dweller sometimes. This is a good choice to make, or you might want to Daigusto Emerald or Direwolf, or maybe out something with Utopia the Lightning. Whatever the case may be, you can just summon a Dark Fire Dragon off this and make a rank 4. Or with Northern, you can make a 3 material rank 4 as well. So yeah, that's it for the spell. No, there's one more spell. Soul Charge, because win conditions are good. Beatrice plays with this card are insane. It's better with Christie, and I was thinking about cutting it, but I'm not sure. Christie was bricking so much for me, and it was just almost not worth it. 1 Photon Strike Bouncer, 1 Beatrice, 1 Constel Knight, Ptolemy M7. Yeah, Ptolemy M7. Those are my rank 6s. They never really come up. This guy came up once, and it was really good. Bouncer, it was amazing against BA. This is amazing against. They're all amazing against BAPK. That's all I can really say about them. But you don't really summon them because they require you to put too much resource into them. Because you put 2 Heralds, which are better cards than these, into the making them. So unless you you're pushing for game, then I wouldn't recommend summoning these at all. 1 Diamond, which I do recommend summoning it. You summon it over a Deltros, which you make off your Star Seraph play. So these 2 cards come up nearly every game. If you resolve Star Seraph combo, you need to make one of these. So usually it's this one and Deltros, and then main phase 2 you put this over and kind of win. Because this is good against a lot of meta decks right now. It stops so many different types of decks. It stops adding back. It stops sending from deck to grave. All that stuff. And Ouroboros is also is different, a lot different from Deltros, but fulfills the same kind of purpose in that it takes away from your opponent. They're both cards that pop your opponent's cards and get rid of cards in the grave and that kind of thing. Well, Ouroboros is at least. But Ouroboros does provide a bit of a niche in that it has more versatility. 1 Utopia package. Daigusto Emerald, because you want to sometimes cycle cards back. It's somewhat important in this deck, cycling back Star Seraph pieces maybe. and also generating value, also getting back Heralds and stuff. 1 Castell, 1 Diamond Direwolf. I figured I wanted both of these. This is kind of an anti-spell in a lot of cases, but this outs pretty much anything. This also helps when we're pushing per game as well. And you have 1 more rank 4, that's Abyss Dweller, extremely important card. In a lot of matchups actually. 1 Norden, 1 Darkfire Dragon. I wanted 2 targets just because I have plenty of space. 1 Pilgrim Dante because I have plenty of space. And there's nothing else I'd really add into this. I was never needing another different card today. In fact, the one time I was like, oh, I could make a Rhapsody, I just made Ouroboros instead, and you know, banished a card from the graveyard. The one card I need to banish anyways. So yeah, that's it for my Cyber Angel Herald deck profile, guys. I hope you enjoyed, and thank you very much for watching.